What's going on, everyone? Gormy here. Today I am bringing you guys my transfer guide for FM21. We're going to be talking about free signings, loan signings, smart signings, the splash signings, and depth signings on how you can really win in the transfer market. Now, before we do get into today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys do happen to enjoy the video. I will also be linking my Discord and Twitch down below. If you guys would like to join the Discord, feel free to do so. Also, if you guys would like to check me out on Twitch, I stream Monday through Thursday over at twitch.tv/ygormy. We are currently streaming with Wrexham, who I am going to be showing you guys how I was winning in the transfer market with them. We are having a lot of fun. And as of the time of recording this video, we are currently first in the Skybet Championship, and it's our first season in it. So we are having a lot of fun in the league, and the team is absolutely incredible. But yeah, with all that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so the first thing we will be covering is free transfers. Now, we started in 2020-2021 with Wrexham AFC, and as you guys can see here, every single signing I have made is on a free. Every single one right here says free. Now, what is amazing about it is all you got to do, just offer them a contract. If they accept, cool. You don't have to pay a transfer fee. All you got to do is pay them salary, and you will make a massive profit in the future. One really good example of that is Dominic Rogerson. He is now playing at West Bromwich Albion. But we brought him in on a free when we were in the Vanarama National. We had him all the way up to Skybet Championship, and we sold him for $1.5 million. And all that we were doing was paying him, I'd say around like $125K a season. And we made $1.5 million off of him, which is absolutely incredible. Another player, Reagan Booty, brought him in on a free when we were in the Vanarama National. He is now worth $4.8 million. Free transfers will really help you win in the transfer market, because if you end up trying to sign someone, it doesn't work out, which, trust me, it happens to everyone. It happens to me. It happens to anyone you can name. The free signings will help make up for that profit that you are going to be losing out on. So, I mean, Reagan Booty, like I said, brought him in on a free. I can probably sell him anywhere from $4.5 million to $7 million. And will I do that? Probably not, because he's an absolute club legend for us. But I'm just saying, free transfers are absolutely incredible. Another player, Will Russ, brought him in on a free from Leicester. We sold him for $220K to the Chicago Fire. We sold Daniel Oyegoke, brought him in on a free, and I think we sold him for around $150K, I believe it was. So free transfers are absolutely phenomenal. I'll show you another player really quickly. Mateusz Muzielowski, brought him in on a free from Liverpool, and he is currently valued at $5.75 million. So free signings will help you make a lot of money. It will help you make your club very secure financially. So definitely look into making free signings. All right, next up, we have got loan signings. Currently, I have 3 players in on loan, but 2 of them play basically every single game for me. One player is Alexander Jankowicz. The reason why I brought him in on loan, and the reason why you guys should be bringing your players in on loan, is either you need a starter and you can't afford to get one, or you need some very good quality depth. Loan signings are very good for both of those. And I mean, with a player like Alexander Jankowicz, look right here. He can play literally anywhere. Literally anywhere I need him to play. So if I get injuries, Alexander Jankowicz is the man to come in. If someone is slacking, he's the one to come in. If he is balling, he's the one that's going to be starting, which currently that is what is happening, because he's been absolutely unreal. But another player is Terry Small. I currently don't have the funds or the reputation to bring in a high quality left back or a left wing back. So I needed to make a loan signing. Terry Small was the perfect loan signing because he could play all up and down that left side. He's very quick. He's exactly what you want in a wing back or a fullback. Yes, he's not insane in his defensive attributes here, but he gets the job done, and he is a very, very solid player. And I mean, loan signings can really, really help make your season a very, very successful season. Another example, let me find him, Nathaniel Ogbeta. I had him on loan last season, and he played so well that I ended up bringing him in on a permanent basis. The dude has been absolutely phenomenal, and I love him. Yes, he is a 6'1" center back, and he does not score all the goals in the world, but defensively, he is absolutely phenomenal for me, and he gets the job done. I absolutely love him. Another player that I did the exact same thing with, Kevin Gonzalez. We had him on loan from Dundee United last season when we were in Sky Bet League 1, and him and Ogbeta were very, very key in helping us get promoted. And, I mean, Kevin Gonzalez brought him back. He is now my main attacking midfielder alongside Jankowicz, who, like I said, Kevin Gonzalez was on loan last season, made it a permanent deal because I liked them enough. And Alexander Jankowicz is on loan currently, and who knows, I might make that a permanent deal as well. Because what is a good thing about your loan signings, if they work out, try and bring them in, because if a player continuously keeps on getting loaned out, I mean, the team doesn't really have them in their plans for the future, or even try and loan them in for a season or two and have a future buy clause in the loan deal, either a mandatory one so you know you're going to buy them, or just one that's like, okay, if we like them enough, this is what we are willing to pay for the player that we are loaning in. All right, next up is smart signings. So this guy right here that you guys see, his name is Harry Anderson. He played at Ipswich. He was a pain in the butt for me when I had to play against Ipswich, but they got promoted to the Sky Bet Championship, and it kind of allowed for us to have a little bit more leeway of getting much deserved points, whereas Ipswich kept on stealing points away in a lot of games and made it tough for us the previous season to go up to the Sky Bet Championship. But being able to steal a player like Harry Anderson from them on a very, very good price, I believe it was $150K, maybe $180,000 is all we had to pay for Harry Anderson. It was an absolute steal. As you guys can now see, he's valued at $1.6 million. When he came into play for us, he only played 16 games, but had 8 goals and 5 assists with 2 player of the match performances and a 7.11 average rating. He was an absolute god for us. It is one of the smartest signings I have made for our Wrexham save, and he was absolutely vital in us going up. If you see a player that you know is going to have a major, major impact for you, and they have a price such as what he did at $180K, and you know that he is actually capable of doing way better than just being a fringe player, and he could be a regular starter in your team, bring in a player like that, and they can have a Harry Anderson type of effect to where they have 8 goals, 5 assists in 16 games for you and help you get automatic promotion from whatever league you are in, or even if you are in the top leagues and you need a player that gets you over that little hump that is keeping you outside of the top 10, outside of a Europa League, Champions League spot, or even just on the cusp of being a league champion, and you get that one player that's going to help you. A Harry Anderson smart signing like that is definitely one that you should definitely be making. Another player that was a very, very smart signing, he actually was on a free, but I was going to end up paying for him anyways. His name is Adam Devine. We brought him in from Rangers, and he was, without a doubt, my best defender last season. Yes, I said Ogbeta was very, very good, but Adam Devine played even better than he did the previous season, and he was absolutely phenomenal. And what was awesome, which I couldn't believe, so he ended up having 5 goals, 2 assists, 2 player of the match performances, 7.26 average rating. That's great for a free signing. Absolutely phenomenal. but he helped us get promoted, and then he won the Skybet League One Player of the Year as a defender. So I was absolutely blown away. It was a very smart signing. We needed a center back. I brought in a bunch of them, all of them on freeze, and he ended up being the best one, and I knew he probably would end up being the best one because of the quality of coming from a Rangers team. You bring in a player that is on Rangers or on Celtic or a team that okay, if we bring him into a Skybet League One side, he's going to have that quality. Or a Harry Anderson, a player that helped the team get promoted and they no longer have need of him. You bring him in for a very smart price, and he can help you get promoted or get to wherever you need your club to be. And I mean, like I said, Adam Devine brought in on a free. He is now worth $350K, and Mr. Harry Anderson brought in for $180K. He is now worth $1.6 million. So it is absolutely phenomenal the type of signings that you can make when you are thinking with your head and not just throwing money at people and wasting it away and being like, oh, I really wish that transfer worked out. Look for transfers like these, and they can really, really change everything for your club. All right, so now we have got these splash signings. It is when you are at a level or have enough money to where, okay, we either need to make a big signing to compete, or we have enough money to make a big signing to make us even better. Now, the splash signings that I ended up making, these were the first two splash signings I've ever made for our Wrexham save. One goes by the name of David Vieira. Brought him in from Burnley for, I think it was $625,000? Yes, $625,000. And a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, that's not a whole lot. For me at Wrexham, that was a hell of a lot at the time. We ended up going up to Skybet, so we got a little bit more money, and that is where we are splashing the cash on another player. But David Vieira is, without a doubt, the best player in my team rating-wise. Yes, Terry Small also is, but he is in on loan, so he has to go back to Everton at the end of the season, whereas David Vieira is here for as long as I would like him to be here, as long as he wants to be here, because, a lot of players can be prima donnas, but David Vieira is absolutely phenomenal and checks off everything that I need in a player and a midfielder, and he has been absolutely phenomenal. Actually just won us a game in the previous stream that I absolutely lost my mind on because it was in like the 92nd minute, but he is a splash signing that is well worth it. You need to make sure that your splash signings are well worth it. Now, the other player goes by the name Liam Long. He is our goalkeeper. I told you at the beginning, we sold Dominic Rogerson, who was my goalkeeper, all the way from the Vanarama National, all the way up until I was like, you know what, we kind of have to move on. We're in the Skybet Championship. We need a goalkeeper that we can depend on for the future. So we sold Dominic Rogerson for $1.5 million, and we brought in Liam Long, signed him technically on a free, but we had to give Liverpool some compensation of $2.3 million. So that is the biggest transfer I have made for Wrexham AFC, and it is well worth it because he is absolutely phenomenal. He has 5-star potential ability, current ability 4-star. He was a half-star better than Dominic Rogerson. He's only 19 years old, so the only way is up, and he has the potential to be a Premier Division goalkeeper. So having a signing like that you splash the cash and it's for the future, knock out two birds with one stone, it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, looking at his stats, he's absolutely incredible, and he's only going to get better. So having a signing that you only got to pay $2.3 million in compensation in the future, if and when we ever move on from him, we can sell him for maybe upwards of $20-30 million. So I mean, when you are looking at your signings, definitely look for the now. How can they help me now? But in the future, okay, if and when we move this player on, how well are they going to be able to help the club financially once we sell them on? And how many players could we potentially bring in, or even have to just, fill out different squads and whatnot? Because if I were to sell on Dominic Rogerson, Liam Long in the future for upwards of 20-30 million, at a club like this, I could bring in 3 players for that. So it would be absolutely incredible. You need to make sure that you're looking for the now and for the future what they can do and bring to your club. All right, now we have got the depth signing. So right here is a man by the name of Andre Dolzal. I also brought him in from Ipswich, and I brought him in the same season of Harry Anderson, but I brought in Andre Dolzal before him. Now, I ended up bringing him in for $275K, and I am currently about to sell him to the Colorado Rapids for $300K. But what he was able to do for us was absolutely phenomenal. He was our top playmaker in the Sky Bet League 1. The previous season, it was Reagan Booty, who I talked about earlier on in the video. He was very, very good, Andre Dolzal was, and I did not expect him to be as important as he was, because at the end of the season, everyone was really clicking chemistry-wise, and the plays that he was able to make were phenomenal. And I mean, looking at his current ability, he's only 3-star, or I've got a lot of 3.5, 4 stars now. His 3-star current ability, we have been using him from time to time this season, and he makes key passes that help us win games. He did it in the previous season when he was a regular starter, and he has done it this season as well. He hasn't been able to play a lot of games, but he has been getting the ball into positions where it ends up in our opponent's net. Now, looking at his career stats for us, he ended up having 5 goals and 11 assists, 2 player of the match performances on a 6.82. I'll definitely take that, because a majority of my goal scoring does come from my attackers, and just being able to have a player depth-wise that can contribute in more ways than just either goals or assists, where he was contributing in both, and defensively sometimes as well, is absolutely phenomenal. So you definitely want to make sure that you get players that are very well-rounded stat-wise, because I mean, looking at him, like, you can tell, okay, he's not up to par with where I need him to be for the Sky Bet Championship, but in the previous season, he was probably one of the top players in the league, and he was. Now, another player depth-wise that I brought in this season is a player by the name of Johan Madrid. He is absolutely incredible, and a depth signing is a signing that you want to try and bring in a player on a very, very good amount, because he was transfer listed for $375,000. I was like, all right, dope. You're definitely coming in, because he has been playing for us game in, game out recently. He is now worth $1.7 million. So you bring in these signings, you get them to grow a little bit or get them to start playing well. You can make buku bucks off of these players. And that is what you want to do in the transfer market with all of these, whether it is a free signing, loan signing, and you end up bringing them back. Smart signing, splash signing, all of them. You want to make sure that you're focusing on the now, but also the future. Okay, how much money can I potentially make off of you in the future? And it sucks that you have to think like that, but I mean, it's key to making sure that your club survives. How much money in the future once we have outgrown you, not you outgrown the club, which sometimes your player does outgrow your club, depending on if you are consistently stuck in the lower leagues. How much money can you potentially make off of those players? And I mean, bringing him in for $375K and potentially making $2 million off of Johan Madrid is absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, he's a player that was a depth signing, but I mean, looking at these stats for our side, he should definitely be starting every game, and he has been recently, because his competition is Paul Skelly. And Paul Skelly was injured for a little bit. His potential is a Premier Division right back. So within time, Paul Skelly will definitely knock Johan Madrid to the backup role. But currently, Johan Madrid is the main man, and he has been absolutely phenomenal. And you want to make sure when you're making depth signings that you're looking at the stats and it's like, okay, when he goes in, he's really, really going to be able to help our squad. And sometimes these depth signings are the reason why you win leagues, or are the reason why you get promoted through either automatic promotion or through a playoff match. So, yeah, that is all for today with the transfer guide on all the different things that I have covered for you guys today with free signings, loan signings, smart signings, the splash ones, and depth. So if you guys did happen to enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, have a good one.